They created me, but they cannot control me.
Ghost in the Shell was directed by Snow White and the Huntsman director Rupert Sanders, who brings another Snow White on screen by casting Scarlett Johansson in the lead role of an anime adaptation, which led to quite a controversy with articles, online protests and overall anger towards Paramount. The funny thing is, I was kind of okay with it before I've seen the movie, because I really like Scarlett Johansson, and from a financial perspective it's completely understandable to cast at least one big household name for your strange science fiction movie. And I think she's great in it. But the way the story unfolds, without spoiling anything, is kind of pointing to that decision quite obviously later on. So, Ghost in the Shell is of course an adaptation of the 1995 Japanese animated movie of the same name, which itself was based on the manga. There were sequels as well, more than one series, and video games too. I personally only know the 1995 movie, which I've seen 2 times. I like it quite a bit, though I was never that excited by it. I was always way more into Akira, which I love to pieces. The original Ghost in the Shell is a very abstract movie, a little bit hard to follow and emotionally not very engaging. It's heavy science fiction exploring complex themes, and what I was expecting from the Hollywood version was the same storyline but a more approachable narration and making everything easier to comprehend. But I wasn't expecting major changes to the whole story. Again, I only know the 1995 movie, and maybe some of the stuff in the remake was present in other incarnations before. We start with some brief text passages to give you at least some kind of context into what you're about to see. It's the future, and the line between man and machine gets more and more blurred. Almost all the population has some kind of technological improvement. Artificial limbs, enhanced eyesight, it's a mixture between body horror and a utopian vision of the future that might be not that far off. The setting seems still to be some kind of Japanese city, even though I believe it's not explicitly mentioned. But we get one of Japan's most well-known actors, Takeshi Kitano, who's speaking Japanese throughout the complete movie, with subtitles for the audience, while everybody else just understands him even though they only speak English. But I liked it somehow, it only added to the bizarre setting. The new movie incorporates all of the most iconic moments from the anime. The jump from the skyscraper, the process of our lead character Major getting born or built, the action set piece with the garbage truck, the diving scene, the fight with the spider tank, and many more. There are several images and shots taken directly out of the 1995 version. But, and this really surprised me, all those moments are put in a narrative that very much differs from the original story, especially in the second half. And instead of making it a little bit more accessible for a mainstream audience, they kind of turn it into a very generic sci-fi revenge story about a woman who is searching for her identity. Given one with astonishing visuals and a great soundtrack by Lorne Balfe and Clint Mansell, but generic nevertheless. I'm very much guessing that people who haven't seen the original anime will like it a lot more than people who have. Looking just at the movie itself, it's fairly entertaining. Scarlett Johansson and the Danish actor Pilou Asbæk have a good chemistry, and I like their bond. I was also quite engaged emotionally and really feeling for Johansson's character, who seems to be the first of her kind. Only a human brain in a complete artificial body. The anime was a big inspiration for the Wachowskis, and when you say this reminds you of The Matrix, then it has come full circle. The action is cool, although the movie would definitely improve a little bit with an R rating. But again, this criticism weighs stronger when you know the source material, which is very drastic. Some of the acting from the side characters came across as a little bit wooden, and not because many people are androids, and there's also another bad guy who's really weak and comes across almost as pathetic. So if you're looking for a visual, stunning, colorful science fiction action movie with a strong heroine, I think you will have a good time, but be prepared for a story and a villain that are really generic when you look closely. And if you're a fan of the source material, be prepared for a much simpler Hollywood version with very clear emotions, easier answers, and an overall not very thoughtful second half. And there are also some morally very questionable things as well. In German I'd say ein visuell betörender, aber leider auch etwas zu einfach gestrickter Science-Fiction-Actionfilm. I give Ghost in the Shell 6.5 out of 10. It's more like 6.7, but I don't do that. Alright, that's it like always. Comment below, let me know what you think about Ghost in the Shell. And today's question, what's your favorite anime that's aiming for an adult audience? Mine is Akira. You can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, simply at the Jimmy Cage. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And don't forget to hit the clock so we can rock.